Hello all, myself Vedangi and I'm a legal intern at Lexis and Company. So guys, my today's topic for the discussion is the case analysis of Mohri Bibi versus Dharmodas Ghosh. So let's begin. So Mohri Bibi versus Dharmodas Ghosh is a case that covers the ambit of minors agreement, and this case basically deals with a minor's contract or a contract with a minor. In India, an agreement or a contract with a minor, that is, who is the person who is below the age of 18 years or any person who has not completed 18 years of age legally, is void ab initio, that is, void from the very beginning. And such rules and regulations are made because according to law, such people do not come under the ambit of the capacity of contract or the agreement of doing so. So according to court's opinion, any person who is below 18 years of age or who has not completed 18 years of age, that is a minor, cannot intend to create a contract or make major decisions. This case has basically provided us with the knowledge that since minors are legally incompetent to give their assent, so they need to deserve or be provided with the protection in their dealings with the other major persons. So after this case, any sort of contract or agreement with the minor was void from the very beginning, and such contracts are void ab initio. So in this case, the Privy Council declared the law that any contract by minor or any minor's agreement is absolutely void, and it has also stated that it is still growing. So Section 10 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 provides for what agreements are contract, and Section 11 provides a person who is competent to the contract. Now let's discuss the facts of this case. So the facts of this case are that Dharmodas Ghosh was the respondent in this case. He was a minor and he has not completed 18 years of age, and he was the sole owner of his immovable property. The mother of Dharmodas Ghosh was authorized as his legal custodian by Calcutta High Court, and when he went for the mortgage of his own immovable property, which was done in the favor of appellant, that is Pramod Datta, he was a minor and he secured this mortgage deed for rupees 20,000 at interest rate of 12% per year. Pramod Datta, who was a money lender at the time, and he secured a loan or amount of rupees 20,000, and the management of his business was in the control of Kedarnath, and Kedarnath acted as the attorney of Pramod Datta. Dharmodas Ghosh's mother sent a notification to Pramod Datta informing him about the minority of Dharmodas Ghosh on the date on which such mortgage deed was commenced. But the proportion or the sum of loan that was actually provided was less than rupees 20,000, and the negotiator or the representative of the defendant was actually acted instead of on behalf of the money lender, has given money or sum to the plaintiff, who was a minor, and he fully had the knowledge about the incompetency of the plaintiff to perform or to enter into the contract, and also he was incompetent legally to mortgage his property which belonged to him. So after that, on 10th of September 1895, Dharmodas Ghosh along with his mother brought a legal suit or action against Pramod Datta by saying that the mortgage that was executed by Dharmodas was commenced when he was a minor, and so such mortgage was void and disproportionate or improper, and as a result of which such contract should be revoked. When this petition was in process, Pramod Datta had died, and then further the petition was litigated by his executors. The plaintiff argued that in such a case, no relaxation or any sort of any aid should be provided to them, because according to him, defendant had deceitfully or dishonestly misrepresented the fact about his age. Now there are certain issues that were raised in this case. So the issues were whether the deed was void under Section 2, Section 10 and Section 11 of the Indian Contract Act or not, whether the defendant was liable to return the amount of loan which he had received by him under such deed or mortgage or not, and whether the mortgage commenced by the defendant was voidable or not. Now there were certain arguments presented and submitted by appellant and respondent. So first we will discuss the appellant's argument. So the respondent was a major when he executed the mortgage. So the appellant argued that neither the appellant nor his agent had any notice that the respondent was a minor, and the respondent made a fraudulent declaration regarding his age and is hence disentitled from seeking any relief. The respondent is stopped by Section 115 of the Indian Evidence Act 1872 from claiming that he was a minor at the time of executing the mortgage, and the respondent must repay the amount advanced according to Section 64 and Section 38 of Indian Contract Act, as well as Section 41 of Specific Relief Act 1877. Whereas the respondent argued that Brahmodatta and his agent Kedar Nath possessed knowledge of the respondent's actual age, and since the respondent was a minor at the time of executing the mortgage, so the contract is void. Now, what was held in this case? So, according to the verdict of the trial court, such mortgage deed that was commenced between the plaintiff and the defendant was void, as it was accomplished by the person who was an infant at the time of the execution of the mortgage. When Brahmodatta was not satisfied with the verdict of the trial court, he filed an appeal in the Calcutta High Court, and according to the decision of the Calcutta High Court, they agreed with the verdict that was given by trial court, and it dismissed the appeal of Brahmodatta. Then he later went to Privy Council for the appeal, and later the Privy Council also dismissed the appeal of Brahmodatta and held that there cannot be any sort of contract between a minor and a major person. So the final decision that was passed by the council were, any sort of contract with a minor or infant is void ab initio, since the minor was incompetent to make such contract, hence the contract such made shall also be void in the eyes of the law, and the minor, who is Dharmodas Ghosh, cannot be enforced to give back the amount of money that was advanced to him, because he was not bound by the promise that was executed in the contract. Now, there were certain principles that were laid down in this case, principles of law. So, any contract with a minor or an infant is neither valid nor voidable, but it is void ab initio, that is void from the very beginning. Also, Section 64 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 is only applicable in the case where the parties entering into a contract are competent to make such contract, and is not applied to cases where there is no contract at all. Also, the legal acts done by representative or any knowledge of an agent means that such acts done or having knowledge of anything is of his principle. So, what we can conclude from this case is that any agreement or deed in which the minor is party to it or included in such contract by any way, such deed or agreement shall be declared as null or void, because such agreement is no agreement in the eyes of the law, and any agreement with the infant cannot be administered against them. In cases, minors' parents or custodians shall not be liable for the dealings done by the minor without their consent, and hence they will not be held liable to return the amount back taken by the minor out of the moral obligations, but the parents and the guardians will be liable to repay back the amount when the minor or an infant acted with the consent of the parents or the custodians. And if any minor has got any profit out of the void contract, then he or she cannot be enforced to reimburse it back or make the compensation for it. So guys, that's all about my discussion on this particular case. I hope you all liked my video. If you guys have any doubt with regard to this video, then you can comment in the comment section. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel Lex Click. We will meet in the next video. Till then, bye.